Hey, Tony Gassins here, just popping in. Look like I got 16 minutes till I get to the car dealership, going to get my wife a oil change before she get back in town. But one of y'all sent me a video of a school teacher, male school teacher, getting his hair taken out, his hair unbraided by his female students. And he came out and did a video talking about it and just saying that, hey, this is an innocent community event and that this is what he wanted to do. Now, I remember being a substitute teacher, and this is where I'm drawing my perspective from. Is I was a substitute teacher because being a teacher is a respectable thing to do. It's a respectable job, and it's just something you can do if you don't feel like going to do, manual labor, working in construction or something. You could be a school teacher, a substitute teacher, and I remember going there, and I was young, probably 21, 22, and I was young enough and looked young enough that I remember the principal thought I was a student. And I was on my phone in the hallway, and he was like, hey, no phone, no phone. And I was like, hey, I'm a teacher. And he was like, oh, okay, well, still, how we want students not to be on their phone, the teacher on their phone. Hey, principal, teacher get to do what students don't get to do. Hush your mouth, get out the way now. And so I ain't say nothing. And I remember having on my black shirt with my black and white tie, with my black pants, with my black and white Adidas shell toes, clean. And I remember one class, I was out in a portable. One class, a young lady, a student came up to me, and at the end of the class, and she put her picture on my desk, and she just walked off. And I remember them little pictures that we have in school. And because when we used to take them pictures, we'll cut them up and we'll give it to all our friends. And it's like, hey, here goes something to remember me by. And we'll write on the back of it. So she put her picture on the desk, I picked it up and I flipped it over, and it had her name and her phone number. At that moment right there, that let me know that these high school women do not see young male teachers as no big brother and no father that he talking about. Yes, they all gonna say that, because nobody finna come out their mouth at 16, 17, 18 years old, even 14, 15, and say, yeah, mama, yeah, daddy, I see Mr. such and such as my future husband or as a potential boyfriend, because look at Drea Michelle and her boyfriend 18 years apart. Me and my teacher is only 10 years apart. So yes, we can make it. And I heard about the Prime Minister of France or whoever it is and his older woman, and you and daddy 12 years apart. You see what I'm saying? A lot of them kids got that experience to where they got a mama or a daddy that's 10, 12 years apart from their person. So, and you have to understand that in the old days, women started like marrying at 13, 14. And I remember somebody saying, oh, well, we need to stop sexualizing little girls. It ain't about sexualizing no little girl. That's God. God made a woman body to start preparing for a child as early as 10 years old. So we don't know what God's plan was. We have put in place to where 18 is the age. But as you have seen, human beings don't be worried about 18. Man, that was a bad wreck. ooh, woo, that car was towed up. And they hit the pole, ran into the pole. Boy, look here, you got to be woke while you driving now. What in the world is y'all doing? My goodness. Lord, keep them safe. Lord, bless them. Hope they safe. Car towed up. Whole side of the car rammed in, and they hit the pole. A double whammy. My goodness. But a good thing on this road, you can't go too fast. So hopefully they all right. My goodness. That be upsetting me. And see, this right here, this fool here, this right here is how people wreck right here. Because this fool here speeding in and out of traffic after he just seen the wreck. He just seen the wreck now. Y'all got to forgive me, but I have to comment on what's around me because I'll be alert and aware of what's around me. And be alert and aware. And she is a woman driving like that. I'm thinking it's a man. It's a woman driving like that. She's swerving all in and out of traffic and stuff, and just seeing the wreck. I'm about to say something to her, and remembered I'm a Christian. Well, I thought it was a him. Then when I seen it was a her, I said, I ain't gonna say nothing to no woman. But if it was a man, I was about to say, slow your butt down. About to have all us up in a pole like these people is. Y'all got to forgive me. But listen to me. So, you got to understand, a lot of people don't like to think about this and don't like to understand this and get in their feelings about it. It's a lot of girls that are 11 and 12 having sex. And a lot of them already have, whether they bumped into a magazine, whether they heard about it, but they done made a choice that they're gonna have some sex. Lack of knowledge and all of that, yes. And a lot of boys, same thing, 11, 12, 13 having sex. So with this man having them girls play in their hair, it don't matter how he see it. Don't matter how he see it, because he don't know how one of them see it. He not in their head. He can't say that not now one of these girls see me as a potential lover one day, because that done happen. We just seen it with the pastor whose wife allegedly took her life. He met her when she was 14. And then they got married later. So this very boy who got these young ladies playing in his hair, which after I hearing him talk, he could be a little sweet. And so that could be why he don't feel no type of way, because he was saying he'll let his daughter paint his nails and put on makeup. And I know a lot of men will do that too, because it's their daughter. But these girls not your daughter. They ain't got your blood coursing through their veins. These not your daughter. Some of these girls are already having sex. And it's no different to them of having sex with their boyfriend and having sex with you as a grown male teacher. And this show up every single day on the news of male teachers and female teachers sleeping with their students. So you can't come out here with these girls playing in your head and then you want to act like this is all innocent when every single day teachers sleeping with their students. So that's just ignorant to even act like that. And these children is a finger snap away from being grown. Now, it would have been more innocent if it was fifth graders or something, to where they so young. And I remember substitute teaching at a elementary school, and it was a black neighborhood, a black school. And again, black people, we behind the 8 ball in a lot of neighborhoods, in a lot of areas. So a lot of times these kids raising themselves because their parents may be working, trying to make a living, or their parents may be on drugs, their parents may be going through this and that. And I remember substitute teaching at an elementary school, and the little girls, it was a group of little girls, and they were like, ooh, he fine. Ooh, hey teacher, hey teacher. Psst, psst, psst. Ooh, he fine, girl. I was like, are you serious? How in the world do fifth graders have a concept of fine? Like, what in the world is going on? I was blown away. So for this man to act like it's just all innocent and ain't now one of them girls, and especially some of them girls is being overlooked by the boys. Some of them girls don't get love. Some of them girls don't have male interaction, male attention. Some of them girls have been turned out by a man at a young age. So it's like, yeah, you could try to be that positive light and all of that, that positive influence, but guess what? Men have to be realistic about this, and men got to be honest about this. It's a lot of men sleeping with underage girls. It is a lot of men sleeping with underage girls. As men, we not dumb to that. We can't act like we don't remember the girl we went to school with who was 16 years old and she got a 29-year-old dope boyfriend. Like, this is not foreign. This is not, this teacher acting like that. It did this, that people crazy for feeling this inappropriate, and people crazy, and something wrong with people in their head that them girls playing in his house, taking his house is an intimate thing. Yes, it's not intimate if you go to a professional, but when it is free, that is a favor, and that is intimate. And he tried to, that's why he turned on the camera trying to normalize it, but no, we not normalizing that. And somebody say, so you'll let your daughter play in a grown man house? He gonna do a video talk about if the man is pure. That's the thing. We don't know that you pure. Don't nobody know you. Just because you teach, you got an arm full of tattoos. So where I'm from, arm full of tattoos is thugs, it's gangsters. And yeah, just because you school teaching, and you got plaques in your head, the dope boys got plaques, the gangsters got plaques. So yeah, you trying to make it look, you know, innocent and teacher-esque because you got a sleeve of tattoo and you got braids in your head. But listen, look like, be like, walk like, quack like, look like you a duck. So it's like, absolutely not, my daughter not playing in your hair. And I'm gonna whoop my daughter behind if I find out she playing in your hair. And then I'm finna, as a father, I'm finna whoop your behind. And I can't literally put hands on you because that's assault, but I'm finna get you suspended. I'm getting you suspended. This man got my daughter playing in his head, and I do not know him. A lot of the parents follow me on social media. I don't follow you on social media. Every parent don't follow you on social media, and I don't care if I follow you on social media. I don't want my daughter in your head. And if you as a parent and you think just because your child in this man's class that it's okay for her to be playing in his house, something wrong with you, because you don't know this man. You don't know this man. This man teach your child class. That don't. It take a lot of people. It take a lot of these men and women 10 years before they break, before they meet that student that look just like. Because listen to me, there is not much difference between them girls and an 18-year-old legal girl. And I don't know if any of them was not 18. There is not much difference. There are 25-year-olds who look younger than them girls that was in his head. And one of them was back there on the camera fast. She back there dancing in the camera. She back there, you know, throwing up her little finger signs, which could be interpreted as gang signs, and throwing her hips side to side. She might be innocent. She might be a virgin, but she back there aiking. Somebody could read into that. We don't know her. We don't know what she got going on, because she love the camera. She love attention. She back there dancing for the camera and filming it herself. So she a social media influencer. So this the thing. It's like, no, there should be no touching other than a church hug. A little one-arm church hug, and even that got to be to a limit. Even that got to be to a limit. because of what's going on in the world. And yes, you could be innocent. Yes, you could be pure, but you're guilty by association. You're guilty by association because some of your peers is sleeping with the students. My wife got a high school coach that got arrested not long ago for sleeping with one of his students, one of the players on the basketball team. This man been coaching. My wife is 37 or something like that. My wife, 37. She went to that school when she was 16 years old. So 26, 36. This man been coaching since before she got to that school. This man been coaching over 20 years. And my wife say he was dealing with students when she was in school. Look how long it took for him to get caught. So this teacher that's coming out doing this video, I honestly believe we gonna find him sleeping with a student. Gonna get caught sleeping with a student in about 5 years. Because let me tell you how this happened. You got to understand the human mind. You got to understand the human mind. You got to understand the human experience. You got to understand hormones. You got to understand your body don't differentiate. When you get in a close, intimate situation, your body not going to differentiate between a 17-year-old and a 27-year-old. Whether it's her body or whether it's his body. This because the body is made to reproduce. If it feels a energy, them pheromones of another sex that is, and this person is not related to you. It's different when the person related to you. You could put them in a box in your mind. This is my family. But when that person ain't related to you, and this is why this happened every day. But the teacher trying to spin it to say, oh, something wrong with you if you think that this is not innocent. It ain't about it not being innocent. It's about what it could lead to. It's about the perception of it. It's about you not knowing where a student's heart is. And you don't get to say so, and you don't get to decide if a student likes you or not in an intimate way. You don't get to decide if a student wants to be with you or not in an intimate way. You don't get to decide that because you don't know what that young lady has gone through. So that young lady could take and sit down one day and she could look back and say, I was attracted to my teacher, Mr. Such and Such. I was attracted to him. So let me tell you this, talk to your kids and tell them, do not touch on your teacher. Do not be playing, show them that video. Don't ever do this with your teacher. Because although your teacher could be nice, you don't know him in a personal way. You know him as a school teacher. And let your child know that, male and female, don't be fraternizing. If it's a little hug, and they don't understand the concept of sex, they that young, but if they got social media and they understand the concept of sex and all of that, you got to let them know, absolutely not, we ain't with it, we ain't doing no touching, we ain't doing all of that. Absolutely not. Keep your hands to yourself. Because you never know when a teacher gonna go rogue. You never know when a teacher gonna be like, you know what, I'm finna, man, this one here look just like my wife, just like I want my wife to look. This one here look like this and that. This one here, ooh wee, this one here. You never know when that's gonna happen. You never know. Why you got this little wallet in here? Take this out of here, cause be back there with the service people, boy, they be charging me up. She got all the good cards in there too. Be charging me up. I done had that happen too, but we done had several cars hacked, and I bet I left it in the car while getting a detail service. And alrighty, coming to get an oil change and couldn't get the site to work.
Did you have an appointment?
No.
You did not? Okay.
couldn't get the site to work, so I just had to pull up on you.
Okay. Who's your advisor typically?
The muscular black guy, I think his name Joshua or
Josh.
it don't matter then. And I think I got the titanium so that my oil change is covered.
Okay. We can get you going. You can leave the keys inside. Are you gonna wait with it?
Yeah, I'll be here, kind of hanging around.
No worries. You leave the keys in there. I'll just get you tagged in. I'll get you going.
Okay, thank you.
Sir.
No way. You guys can't allow me to do that.
I'm one of the advisors here.
And so, you know, talk to your kids and let them know, no, we ain't doing that. You could give your teacher a little hug. And the problem with parents is a lot of times we assume we know it all. We assume that we know our child. Think about this now. When you was getting bust wide open or you was getting flipped and tossed, did your mama know that? You see what I'm saying? When you was smoking weed, did your mama know that? When you was drinking alcohol at your friend's house, did your mama know that? So why you think you know your child inside and out and you know every little thing they will and won't do? You don't know your child like that. You don't know what your child will do. And I'm wise enough to know that. I was out here all between legs from the age of 15, and I remember hearing my mama tell a friend at 17, I know my son ain't having no sex because he too shy to climb. I know my son is too shy to climb up on top of a woman. And I would wound them out, busting them down, and my mama ain't have a clue. And I literally lived in the household with my mama. My parents was together. I was with my mama every single day. And she did not have a clue that although I was quiet and reserved publicly, I was not scared to get in me no woman. And that was one thing I was doing for sure. And that's what I want you to understand. So you can't say, oh, well, my daughter is a virgin and she's super innocent, and if she's taking out Mr. Johnson's hair, I know it means nothing. I know it's innocent, and I know that, you know, she's not thinking about that and she doesn't process things like that. You don't know. And hopefully you're right. But even if you are right, you don't know that man. You know he show up and he go to school, but it's just like having an affair. People don't have an affair on the first day. People might not have an affair in the 6th month. People might not have an affair in the first year. It might take a year. It might take 2 years. It might take 5 years of having this work friend, and then the stars align. It's just the right time of the month. You had the wrong argument with your spouse, him or her, something happened. Y'all could have been at the desk and both of y'all went to lean in to grab a paper at the same time, and y'all lips touch. Y'all could have went to hug, do the church hug, and do the little kiss on the cheek, and somebody went to turn and y'all kissed on the lips. My son reminded me about when me and him did that. I went to kiss him on the cheek. I put him in the bed, went to kiss him on the cheek, and he was turning, and we kissed on the lips. He said, that was so awkward, Dad. He's like, I'll never forget that. He's like, you remember that? I was like, no, son, I don't remember that. But just like that same thing, that happened to adults. When adults hug and somebody getting ready to pull away or turn the other way, and they used to that little kiss right there, and then boom. That happened to adults. And so that's the thing. You got to think about and realize that just because it's innocent right now, don't mean it's going to be innocent next year. We don't know what that young man going to go through. And I'm going to tell you this right here. even if the student is turned 18, it's still inappropriate because it's a teacher-student relationship. But this girl could end up being 17. She could be left back in a grade. Even if he's working with 15-year-olds, she could be 17 and a half. It could be whatever. But who he want to marry, if he heterosexual, who he wants to marry, there's an image in his head of what he want her to look like. And so when he see her, that let me know he ain't got no woman. And if he do, he don't listen to her, because his woman would not want them almost grown girls playing in his head. They wouldn't want that. And I remember, even though me being who I am and me being a responsible man, when I went to substitute teach, my wife said to me, she said, be careful. She said, be careful, because I went to a school to where it was a lot of fast girls, and they was attracted to their teachers. They wanted to sleep with their teachers. And she told me that. She was like, be careful. And my wife is she's not an insecure person. Like, in the sense of, not like insecure, like she ain't got no, oh, I want this to be better. But meaning I'll be on the phone all day with women, and my wife never come to me and say, who did you talk today? Who did you talk to today? How did it go? Was she nice? Where does she live? What does she look like? Are you attracted to her? My wife asked me that one time in our entire relationship, and that's when I was coaching a reality TV star. And she was like, she looked like somebody you could be attracted to, don't her? I'm like, absolutely not. I'm like, yeah, she pretty, but she a HO, and I'm not attracted to HOs. And end of that. She ain't say nothing else. She ain't bring it up no more. And so if my wife, who is not no insecure, jealous person, who don't question me about women, and I deal with beautiful women every day, would not want girls playing in my hair, I know any woman he got wouldn't want them girls playing in their hair. And if they do, they delusional too. And this is what you got to understand. Y'all got to stop being delusional. You got to stop being ignorant. Because even him, that could have been a bonding moment for one of them girls. And had I not made this video and people share it, and some of the moms might be on here on my video, some of them girls might be subscribed to me. He might be subscribed to me. And had they not seen me say this, one of them girls might write him in a month and say, hey, I know I'm your student, but I just wanted you to know that I am grown and I'm attracted to you. I remember I met a 16-year-old girl, and I was 23, and I met her through her coach, because her coach, she played basketball, and I met her through her coach, and he was like, yeah, this one of my players right here, you know, she real good or what have you. And I remember she probably was, I think she was 16 when I met her. And the coach was thinking, hey, you know, mentor these young ladies, you know, talk to them about what you talk about. Because I had wrote my book, What Daddy Never Told His Little Girl. And so I talked to the young lady, and she was like, and this was the same type of thing, like, oh, this is innocent, you know, you mentoring. And she said, yeah, I know I'm young, but I'm grown. Or I know I'm young, but I do my thing, or I get it in. And she was like, yeah, so what's up? And I was like, whoa. I said, hold on now, hold on. I said, you is way too young. I said, you is a child of me. And she was like, no, but I'm grown, I do my thing. And this was a masculine woman. Like, she wasn't even like super feminine and all of that. She was masculine. And now today, she is a lesbian. She's a lesbian today, and she ended up never even having like a boyfriend. So I say that to say, if this could happen with a really basically a lesbian who probably was lesbian at that age but was fighting it because of culture and race and religion, imagine with a girl who is not a lesbian, she heterosexual, and she attracted to men. Imagine then what she thinking and what she feeling. And see, this teacher, he young and ignorant. And I say ignorant not in a derogatory way, but in a literal sense. He is ignorant. He's ignorant to the ways of the body. He's ignorant to hormones. He's ignorant to the male-female dynamic. He's ignorant to the heart of young women and how young women can fantasize and have a lover in their mind even before they've had sex. He's ignorant to all that, or he is forgetting it or trying to omit it as if it's not real and it's not a thing. And so that's what has to be understood, is that we live in a real world where young women are sleeping with older men, and young women are being told by some people to get an older man for money and stability and maturity, and that he is directly in age range of them young girls, and that it is inappropriate to have someone doing something that is intimate. Just like a massage is intimate, but we go to professionals for it. But if you let somebody who's not a professional give you a free massage, that is an intimate exchange. I feel like I'm getting rubbed down and getting seduced by my massage therapist when I get a massage. When I get a massage, my mind be like, ooh, wow, okay, now calm down now, man. What you trying to do, man? Man, it feel like you trying to send some messages through them hands, not call. And then I think about it. I'm like, would I want a man rubbing on my wife like this? But women have become so desensitized to where my wife don't realize that happened in my mind when I'm getting a massage from a woman. And honestly, she don't care. And she look at it like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, whatever. But I think about that, and me being a man, I know that I'm not crazy. I know that I'm not deranged. I know that I'm not perverted. I know that I don't masturbate. I know that I don't watch porn. So that let me know, if I could live a straight and narrow life the way I live, and my mind process this, what is a man's mind processing who do masturbate, who do watch porn, who does commit adultery or fornication? What is his mind capable of processing that he has opened himself up to them gateways? And this is what people don't understand. So people be like, oh, Tony, you can't speak for all men. That's you. But you have to understand that the mind is just synapses. It's just patterns. It's just brain waves. It's just biological communication. So the mind is affected by what we watch, what we listen to, what we talk about, what we hear. So if I know that my mind is filtering out porn and promiscuity and lasciviousness, and I still can process that this woman who is touching me feels intimate and feels sensual and not just professional and clinical, then I know that every man mind process that. I remember we was in South Africa and we had a massage person come over, and the massage lady came over and she had something different with her massage like technique. And my cousin, he had never got a real massage, and so the lady was like, get undressed. My cousin, he ran away from home at 14, and he was in the streets for 20 years before he retired from the streets. He got naked. So he got his massage naked. And when I got my massage, my penis got erect. And I had nothing to do with that. But that is a physical touch. I was not sitting there like, oh yeah, want this woman. Yeah, want this woman. But that was the body responding to touch. And this is what you have to understand about this, that a lot of people don't want to realize. And see, I don't know how a woman's vagina works. So I don't know if a woman can like get a shoulder massage and her vagina gets moist. I don't know how a woman's vagina works. So I can't speak for that. But I know as a man, that is why you see men wake up. Like my son came to talk to me about it. He's like, Dad, I wake up with a random, erection. I said, son, we call it a morning wood. And I say that's normal. It's just blood flow. It's just your blood is flowing in the morning. Your blood, your body is waking you up, and your brain is just sending a rush of blood flow. And that blood flow, it go to that penis. And when it go to the penis, it fills it up and it stand it up. It don't mean that you want to have sex. It don't mean that you're a pervert. It don't mean nothing. We naturally wake up. If you healthy with healthy blood circulation, majority of the mornings you're gonna wake up with an erection. That's how a man's penis works. A lot of women don't understand that because they might not wake up with the same moisture that they have when they is ready to have intercourse. But a man wake up with the same erection that he would have when he's ready to have intercourse. So yes, the right touch on a man's head could make that erection happen. The right touch on a man's shoulder, the right distance of sitting next to a man could make an erection happen. And it's different spirits. It's different people. So even at seminars, certain women that get close to me, that's why I don't want to do seminars no more. That's why I don't do seminars, because it's a spiritual transfer. Certain women that get close to me, my body reacts. And that's something that no man will ever admit. And men will go to their grave lying about it because they don't want their daughter to know that. They don't want their wife to know that. And they don't want other people to know that. And we know that because when we was in, every man know it, but I'm giving away game that men don't give away, that a lot of men don't want to admit. And some men will even lie in the comments just to show it to their girlfriend or their wife, because they know that a woman is gullible in most cases, and that the woman gonna say, well, oh, if he big and bad enough and bold enough to go in Tony Gass's comments and say that is not true, speak for yourself, then my man must be telling the truth. And then right again, boom, she bamboozled. She bamboozled because he was able to fool her. All the body work the same. It ain't my body over somebody else's body. The body work, every man body work the same. That's why we told to be fruitful and replenish the earth. Our body work like that. So that's what happened with our body. If we get too much touch or we get too close, and it's certain women, they will come next to me, and it could be their perfume, or it could be they the side of their booty cheek rubbed up against my hip. But if a certain woman get too close to you, it could make your body react. And a lot of people don't want to admit that. They don't want to discuss that, but it could make your body react. And you could have that interaction. And so that's what people have to understand, is that this right here, me knowing that, that's why I wouldn't let my daughter play in no man's head. Because if it's not her blood brother, but the thing about it is, me being a man, I also understand her blood brother thing could have a reaction. Because what you got to realize, it's a lot of brothers and sisters that have had sex. That's what incest is a thing. I have coached women who have had sex with a biological father. So if a father can get an erection and have sex with his biological daughter, are you telling me that you don't think a male school teacher can get an erection from his female student who look like an adult, just because out of his mouth he say it's innocent, when he got earrings in both ears, a sleeve of tattoos, and braids? That to even have tattoos and braids and earrings means that you go against social norms, and that you're willing to create an image of yourself that will be judged immediately by white people, by black people, by Asian people, and you are willing to be put in a box based on your image, and you do not care what comes from that judgment, you're willing to take that chance. So that tells me that if you're willing to take that chance, that you also may be willing to take the chance to do something risque, to do something frisky, to do something that is rebellious, to do something that is against social norms, like have sex with an underage person, male or female. Because if you would, like, listen, I was in the streets selling drugs, stealing, carrying a gun, and I don't have tattoos down my arm. I don't have braids in my head. I don't have ear piercings. And I literally was living like a thug, like a real thug. This man is a school teacher, but have some of the same adornments that thugs have. So he's willing to be judged. He's willing to be boxed in. He's willing to step outside of the norm. He's willing to do something that I don't even want my son to do. My son asking me for earrings, and I'm telling him no. And having to make him do something special to show himself approved and to earn it. And here this man got all this stuff. So even as a black man, I'm gonna judge it. I'm gonna judge it when I see it, and I'm gonna say, okay, what do that sleeve of tattoo? What do that sleeve of tattoo mean? What inspired that? Are you an artist? Do you draw? You love drawing? You love art? Because if you're not an art lover, then why did you ink your skin permanently? You trying to look cool? You trying to look tough? You trying to look sexy? You trying to look exotic? You trying to look rare? You trying to look, what is the purpose of that? I'm gonna judge it. I got my tattoos because I was trying to look sexy. That's the root cause of it. We all got a root cause of what we do, but if we don't want to admit that we got a root cause, oh, it just means nothing. Oh, I just did it to did it. No, you doing? No, you didn't. I just did it to do it. No, you didn't. Stop lying. Stop lying to yourself. You did it for a specific reason. You did it because of something you seen and something you thought that made you want to do it. So what was it? What is the root cause? You got to get to know you. You got to peel back the layers and get to know you and get to know the root cause of why you want to do this. And then you got to identify, will you feel like this 10 years from now? In most cases, no, you will not. A lot of us would not mind taking off our tattoos if it was a painless, simple process. A lot of us, I would go get my tattoos erased. If it was a painful, painless, simple process, not painful, painless, simple process, I would go do it. If they create something that say, listen, we could run this here laser across you, you won't even feel it, and it will gradually fade that tattoo. And we do this for an hour, and you got to come in 6 times, and it's no pain. When they get to that level of science, I'm gonna get my tattoos removed. So that way I can go to the beach and go to the pool and not be judged. Because when people see you, they're gonna say, oh, he's a tough guy. Oh, he's a thug. Yep, no problem at all.
So here, and then on the bottom of each page.
Okay. And can you I just had my tires rotated.
Okay, you just
And,
had them rotated?
Yep, just had, because I had to go get one of them, because one of them threads was showing on it.
Okay.
So I had to get a new tire.
Okay, I'll make sure they're rotated for you.
So I just had them rotated. Sign right here, you say?
Just
or
that one?
just right here?
And this is just because of all the warranties that you have.
Yep.
The last one there, that one says nothing, but all right, that's it, man.
Thank you very much.
I'll get you out as soon as I
Hey,
can.
thank you so much. And so you got to think about this. So I remember, and this how you know when stuff is outside of the social norm, when a kid asks you about it. I remember my son was real young, like 8 years old, my oldest son. And we went to, he could have been 10 or 11. We went to Cancun, and my son said, "Hey Dad, do you have to take your shirt off to get in the pool?" And I was like, "Yeah, son, I don't want to get in the pool with my shirt on and get my shirt wet." He was like, "Oh, okay. I was just asking because of your tattoos." He didn't like tattoos. He thought that because he didn't see nobody else, like everybody didn't have on tattoos, so he was like, my dad got tattoos on his chest and his stomach. That's out of the norm. That's not normal. So my dad must be different, bad, alien. And that's what you have to understand. So a lot of times people say, oh, well, I don't want to judge people, and I don't want this. That's the world. That's life. Everywhere you go, you being judged. And some things you have done to yourself, like tattoos and piercings and all of that, in different weird places. And some things you cannot change, like the color of your skin. Are you of color? And even if you're not of color, you being judged. If a white man goes into a black club or to a black neighborhood, everybody asks, why is he here? What is this white man doing in the hood? He's being judged because of the color of his skin. Why can't he be here just because he's white? The hood only for black people? If a black man goes into an all-white establishment, everybody's question is, why is he here? What is he doing here? It's a establishment. It's a bar. It's a restaurant. A black man can't come in here? It's all white. Why are you in here? And so that's what has to be realized and understood, is that when you are walking around, you being judged. If you have edema, rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, scoliosis, you can have something that you can't immediately change, and people will judge you. Oh, they must have bad genetics. Oh, they must got voodoo put on them. Or, oh, they must have a bad diet. People will judge you and be completely wrong, completely ignorant, but they're judging you. That's life. That is life. And that's what we have to realize. So you got to understand that. Now, this is the thing. If this man, like, here's a black man who could be seen as attractive to some women. Imagine if he was the complete opposite of what a woman says she's attractive to. So let's say a woman says she attracted to a man that's like 5'9" or taller. And let's say this man is like 5'3". Let's say she attracted to a man who got muscular build, and let's say he is like toothpick skinny. And let's say he has on like really thick bifocal glasses, and he has a low cut, like a really low Caesar, and he has like no facial hair because he just hasn't, his body hasn't matured to that level. He almost looks pubescent, if that's the word, adolescent. People may see, but he's getting his hair unbraided. People may look at that, and because of his look, they may say, oh, that's innocent. And they saying that because he looks like a child. He looks like a kid. He looks like the opposite of what women are attracted to. But here you have this man, this teacher, trying to pass this off as innocent when he could go into the real world and get a full-grown girlfriend. He could go into the real world and get a full-grown woman, get married, have kids, and have no issues doing so. And I guarantee you, if he did that, whoever he with, they're gonna be like, no, I do not want girls playing in your hair. They're not gonna say unbraiding your hair. They're gonna call it playing in your hair. Why I got to be playing? They was unbraiding. They were not playing in my hair. No, that they was playing in your hair. And I don't want no nobody playing in your hair other than our daughter, than me and our daughter. Your mama or a professional hairstylist that you was in a real establishment, sitting in a chair, paying her to unbraid your hair. And that's what she'll tell him. Point blank period. That's what she'll tell him. Just like that. And so you got to realize and understand. And it is going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be what it's going to be. And once you realize and understand that you don't get to dictate and determine perception. Perception is reality. Perception is the perceiver's reality, even if it's not your reality. So me personally, I believe that if the right young lady who is deemed by this man as perfect features, perfect skin, perfect teeth, perfect complexion, perfect type of physique or shape, I believe that if this young lady come to this man for tutoring every day, every other day, after about a year, and possibly as early as 6 months, they could end up in a relationship. And he will, and if not, if he has the strength to wait and not enter a inappropriate relationship with her, that he will talk to her and build with her until the time that she's 18. And that when she is 18, they will enter into a relationship. Just like Marquise Houston, who got the young lady. And when they posted, she was 18, but they had been talking and known each other for like 4 years. And then they tried to come out and clarify that they never dated. They probably most likely was dating before that. And then just came out with it later. And that's what I mean by that. And this happens every single day. Now, them young ladies, he may be able to put them in an innocent box because he's not attracted to them. He don't see them as attractive. He may like white women. He may like a different complexion. He may like a different build. He may like men. And so that's why it could be seen as innocent. But if there is a possibility for a man's body part to be inserted into a woman's body part, and it can fit and it can go together and it is not outside of the norm, then the brain naturally and automatically can process that. You will have to literally and consciously say, this is not right, this is not appropriate. And you have to tell yourself that consciously. And I have seen it. I've seen it, like even growing up, being 16 years old, 17 years old, and older women coming and hugging me and kissing on me sensually. And this was female family members who would hug me, and because they don't have a man, and because they haven't been like hugged or caressed or affectionately touched by a man in so long, and all they've experienced is abuse, they would hug me. And I was having sex at the time, so I know the difference between a friendly auntie hug and a sensual hug. And I would get a hug that would be like, ooh, little Tony, and they'll be in my neck and rubbing their lips across my neck and like kissing me in the neck. Every adult knows that you don't kiss on the neck. My wife don't let me kiss her on her neck because she get the chills and it make her squirm. She won't let me kiss on the neck. I try to kiss on the neck and she bend down and she push me away. She won't let me kiss on the neck because it drive her crazy, ticklish. You don't kiss nobody on the neck. And this was family members kissing me like that. I just be like, and other people will be like, Auntie such a show, honey, you cool. Woo. So this what we have to stop acting like for centuries there hasn't been incest, there hasn't been statutory rape, there hasn't been age gap relationships. Like, what are we talking about? Like, this young man come out like we is asexual humans, and he ain't got no penis and they ain't got no vagina, and he ain't got no feelings and they ain't got no feelings. He coming out like that is just absolutely absurd and impossible for a 15, 16, 17-year-old girl to have attraction for him. And that is just it is just absurd and insanely impossible for him to have. And it ain't like he a devout Christian walking with God, because in his little feedback video he was cussing. He cussed in the video. And so it ain't like he no man of God sitting there quoting scripture. It's like, no, you are a man. You are a man. You have a penis. Some of these young girls have a bigger booty than grown women. So you sitting there letting them rub in your scalp. Yes, I know 100% as a man, you could get turned on. That's why you sitting there doing that nervous clicking on that keyboard and had to get that orange. And that's why you bit the hull of that orange. Your butt was sitting there nervous. Butt started to feel a little tingling sensation. You had to get you some of that citrus in you. He gonna bite off. Boy, you don't bite that. You grab that with your nail and pull that off. You don't put no hull in your mouth. That right there let me know you're nervous and you're nasty. You biting hull. You biting on the hull of the orange, boy, you nasty. Absolutely, you'll touch your 17-year-old. You'll splack a belly. You're 17-year-old. You put the hull of that orange in your mouth. See, it's little stuff like that that let you know. See, you ain't fooling nobody. If you'll sit down and you'll go and get pain or tattoo down your arm, I don't trust that you won't let no 17-year-old seduce you. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. You got to keep your distance. From my 17-year-old, I'm going to lay you down. I'm going to lay you down. Lay you out. I don't know Diddy. I am going to lay you down like that now. Like P. Diddy now. No, absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. My daughter ain't playing in your head. I'm swinging on you, bro. I'm swinging on you. I'm gonna come up there and I'm cussing. I don't even cuss. I'm coming up there to cuss. I'm coming up there to cuss. What in the such and such you doing with my daughter doing your hair? She don't know no better. She thought it was innocent, but you a grown musky man. Don't you ever have a female student, not even a male student, touching on your body. Not your hair, not your scalp, not your shoulder. Don't you ever. You don't have no right to have no physical contact with a student as a teacher. Point blank period. I don't care what you call it. I don't care how innocent you call it. I don't care how this and that you call it. I don't care what you call it. You should have no physical contact with no student that is of the age of consent. 16 up. And you shouldn't have physical contact less than that. But what I mean is, it's different if you go hug a little baby. It's different. You give a hug to your 5-year-old student who don't even know what sex is, don't have a concept of sex, don't have a concept of intimacy, don't have social media. These kids know what sex is. They know what relationships is. They know what age gap relationships is. They know what masturbation is. They know what porn is. They know that it's young girls dealing with older teenage girls dealing with grown men and getting taken care of and getting new shoes and new clothes and all of that to have sex with this grown man from their neighborhood. They know that this is happening, and that's what makes this inappropriate. And the teacher need to come out, and instead of doubling down, he need to apologize and say, I apologize, because many people were offended. Many people thought this was inappropriate. I did not see it that way, but I have learned my lesson, and I will never do that again. I will reschedule my hair appointment, or I will go to my hairstylist and pay her extra to take my hair down. God bless y'all. Thank y'all. Please forgive me for that indiscretion. That's what he needed to do. Still trying to double down and say, oh, I ain't mean it. That ain't mean like that. That was innocent and all that. No. Hush. Hush the noise. That is inappropriate. Excuse me, sir. Question for you. I'm doing a video, and I wanted to ask you, did you see the school teacher, the black man, and he had his girls, the high school girls, taking his hair out? And I was on here talking about that, and I'm like, my daughter, I don't know, because I don't know him.
Yeah.
I know you as a teacher, but I want to ask you as a man, if your daughter's 16, would you want her taking his hair out? You wouldn't. And that's what I was proving the point of. I ain't crazy.
Yeah.
Like, every man.
You got to put yourself in a different perspective to be able to understand it.
To understand
Yeah.
it.
Now, if it's my kid, no, I'm not for that, man. I don't know why. Why you got my daughter taking out your hair?
Right. You grown. Go pay this lady.
But it was a lot of them, though. It was more than just one little girl. So.
And I think that's why he did it, like, the kind of, cause like, oh, if it's a lot, it can't be intimate. Right.
One,
Exactly.
But anyway, I still don't think, but each dad, like, you got to speak up about it.
Exactly. And that's my thing, is like, cause you never know which one of them girls don't have a father and could be looking at it differently.
Yeah, that's true.
And even though she in a group, she could be like, oh, I like him. You see what I'm saying?
And he has that power to where he's in a position of authority, so they're gonna look up to him.
Exactly.
Right? So maybe if he says something, maybe you never know.
Exactly. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. And that's what I was saying, is like, men, we think the same way. But see, this man, he said, I ain't got no kids in my house. He said, God forbid I have kids. It's like, why? What did he say? Did he say, God forbid I have kids? Like, why would he say that? And he said, I ain't got no children in my house, or something like that, he said. But he got 5 little sisters. But this a random man. Now listen to me now. The man I asked, he got the beard that all the ladies love. He muscular. You know, he probably an inch shorter than me. He got tattoos all down his arm. He looked like a former athlete, like he played for the pro team up here, or used to play some type of sport, former football player. And he got his little daughter with him. That's why I know he could relate, and that's why he said you got to look at it from a different perspective. And then he said, well, there's a lot of them now, doing it. So even he's seen this, and I just seen it today. And he said, well, there's a lot of them, and I think that's why the teacher did that, trying to kind of cover up the tracks, or say, oh, well, I'm on camera, and it's a lot of them, so that justifies it and makes it innocent. But see, that's what you have to realize, is that is also a predator tactic. And I ain't trying to say that the man is a predator, but predators do the same thing. Why you think P. Diddy asked Fabulous uncomfortable question on camera, and P. Diddy asked Justin Bieber uncomfortable questions on camera, and P. Diddy filmed Cassie wrapped up in that cover like a cocoon? Because if Cassie was under that cover and nothing was wrong with her and she wanted to be on that camera, Cassie would have took and pulled the cover down and started laughing. But now we know, based on Cassie allegations against P. Diddy, we know that when he filmed her wrapped up in that cover, that wasn't a laughing moment. And that what he was doing right then as a predator, he was saying, I will beat you to a pulp and then show it to the world in a joking, teasing manner, so that you are trapped and nobody will ever believe you when you come out and say that I was abusive to you. So when a teacher, if this teacher was a predator, when he have a bunch of students, he could be sleeping with one student, the predator teacher. I don't think this young man is doing that. I don't think the teacher is doing that, but I'm saying this is the tactic that a predator would use. the one student that he is touching, that he is sleeping with, she will be in that group. And that way it will be masked and it will be covered up. So it's like, I want you in my head, I want you playing with my hair, but so it don't look awkward and so it don't look like I'm coming on to you or what have you, I'm gonna have several of y'all around here to cover this up. And this is what we got to understand, and that's why it's inappropriate. So listen, teach your kids good touch, bad touch. That would have been considered a good touch in the scheme of things, but that's a good touch for when you doing that for your brother, you doing that for your cousin, you doing that for your dad, you know, you doing that for somebody that it's a clear-cut line. If it's not a clear-cut line with your dad because he get drunk, or your cousin because he nasty, or your brother because he nasty, then you don't do that for him either. But you express that and you put that together. And y'all seen now, I ain't the only one. All I said was with my daughter, and then I let him finish, and he said no. And he did say, well, it was a bunch of them, you know, and that's how we justifying it. Like, oh, it was a bunch of them, so it had to be innocent. But it's still, you never know that one. You never know how the one taking it. And it's all, a lot of times it'll be the one, and they'll get jealous and be like, oh, well, I ain't want her touching on you, or I got jealous when you called such and such, you know I don't like her. Why did you call her up there to do that? Mr. Gaskins, why you had her in your hair too? I don't like her. Don't let her do your hair no more, Mr. Gaskins. I don't like her. And then the teacher like, oh, hold on now. Even if he is innocent, hold on now, what we talking about now? Hold on now. So think about that. Think about that now. Hey, it's Tony Gaskins. God bless you. We'll talk soon.